What you were reading there on the screen were the opening words when ESPN launched back in 1979. If you're a fan, a real fan, then you're going to be really happy because we are all sports all the time. We were talking about ESPN and the inside world because Jim Miller is here. He has written this book, Those Guys Have All the Fun, takes a look at the history of ESPN, actually talked to 500 individuals. I'm curious as to how you selected the folks that you ended up interviewing.
Well, you kind of, I mean, particularly with a project like this, you know some of the people that you want to start with. I mean, you know, you want to talk to Chris Berman and Keith Olbermann and Tony Kornheiser and Bill Simmons and, you know, some of the larger-than-life people. But what happens is you start to hear stories and you start to understand some of the people who are behind the scenes that are really important. And there's a lot of research about, you know, who made contributions, and particularly when part of this book is understanding the business history of ESPN too. So it was imperative to understand who were the key people, names that we don't know about, you know, that to talk to, and that was a lot of fun. But
there were also celebrities that you interviewed who were part of a history-making event. For example, Cal Ripken. You know, he comes to mind because I'm a Baltimore girl, you know, native Baltimorean. So his moment in the sun when he broke the record, you got to talk to him and the impact that it had not only on his life but how ESPN covered it as well. So you got to talk to a lot of the celebrities too.
Right. Well, actually, one of my favorite interviews was Mike Tyson, who it turns out, you know, during his early stages of his career, boxed on ESPN Friday nights a lot. In fact, he basically said yes to every fight they offered him, and that was a great interview. He began because he was so excited because he was going to be in Hangover 2. So he started the interview with a lot of excitement, but he was great.
Our priorities changed, don't they?
I know.
So the book is Those Guys Have All the Fun. It's at the top of the New York Times best-selling list. This is not a surprise to you, though, because you've written books before. The one that I loved was the inside look at Saturday Night Live from New York. So what's next? Where do you go after you've gone to Saturday Night Live and ESPN, two huge cultural phenomena in our country?
Well, right now I'm working on the movie version of the Saturday Night Live book.
Really?
It's going to be a movie, I hope. Got to write the script, but that's working on right now. So
there's this great love of nostalgic kind of programming anymore. We're seeing a lot of the shows that were popular in the 70s come out as movies or even series again. And now
Charlie's Angels is coming back.
For the third time or something. That's unbelievable. Nobody's ever going to top Farrah Fawcett, I'm just saying.
Right.
So Saturday Night Live there'll be a movie version of it. And how long will that take you to see it from the screenplay to the theaters?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, what happens in Hollywood, it's you know, books it's a little bit more predictable. You write a book and you have a deadline, you turn it in, hopefully they like it, and then there's a kind of a production process. Hollywood, you know, you have to write the script and then, you know, you roll the dice. And if you get the right director, or you get the right actor, you know, then maybe you'll get done. The movie rights to this book were sold to Fox, and so one hopes that will happen as well.
Okay, well, if you want an inside look at ESPN and all of the controversy and all of the success and all of the scandals that came from it, we didn't even talk about some of the scandals, but they're covered in the book. You need to get it. Those Guys Have All the Fun Inside the World of ESPN. We thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It was wonderful. I really enjoyed the book, and I highly recommend it. If you have questions for Jim or you'd want to tell us what you think about ESPN, you can do that by emailing me directly at lynn@lynndoyle.net. Until the next time, my thanks to my crew and to you for watching. So long.